Record. Right. Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. So we've actually hopped on a few good trades. I'm going to go through them in a minute. Obviously, gold, brilliant. I think we did, what was this from there to there so far? About 150 pips. I'm going to monitor this 15-minute candle here. If this stays the way it is, then I might be tempted to close out. So that's one thing that I'm going to be looking at. But stops on gold should be at break even. So let me just put that in actually right now. Break even. There we go. Right, cool. So right, stops are at break even. Brilliant. Right, let's go through what we've got today. I've had already done one school run, made packed lunches. You know how it is. Very busy. But right. So, um, not really a lot. We've obviously got ADP employment, and then we've obviously got some imports and exports, which you know are going to be affected a little bit. And then we've got some home sales and some Atlanta Fed GDP a bit later on. So ADP employment's going to be probably the only one that we're going to have to worry about today. Interesting with Aussie overall business confidence here. Not obviously great, but not terrible. So yeah, nothing really. ADP employment's going to be one that we're going to be looking out for here. Um, you know, so so um, yeah, that's obviously one which I am going to be looking out for. Obviously, we had good employment on Friday. Yeah, non-farm payroll overperformed. That's obviously given the dollar a little bit of a tailwind here. So I'll be looking into how this comes out. I'm waiting to see what the forecast is. It's not come out yet. So let's wait and see. Hopping onto the charts, all right. Dollar here. I do like where dollar is, especially as we're buying it. I like the idea that it can move up and test this 100 again. I think that there's a higher probability with everything that's going on that we're going to test this 100 as opposed to coming down and obviously testing this 99 500. So pretty happy with where it is. Um, yeah, we've obviously just got to wait and see. We do have, nice level of, support here, and the overall macro outlook is that obviously escalation is appearing. So we would probably project to, see the dollar finishing the day above this 200, above this 100 area. So yields, starting to drop slightly, but obviously, still in this danger, zone here. Remember, I've left this traffic light system up here because once we drop below here, that's when we'll, really, see the dollar start to pull back. But apart from that, I'm pretty happy with where everything is and obviously our overall outlook here. Oil dropping too, all right, but obviously dropping into to this, level of support here. I'm pretty sure our orange is around here, so we're still, traffic light system. Amber would be, this obviously area here, but obviously, so we're still trading, around about 90, which is expensive. It's expensive enough as it is. So looking into the trades we didn't take, USDJPY, I don't like this at the moment. I just don't like where it is. Remember we had this big tail off here, massive tail off. We could class that as a little bit of an intervention. And obviously that's going to happen again, but we're reaching these highs here. All right. So, if we're looking for US dollar strength, this obviously isn't the one because we know that because Japan, obviously a big importers, they import lots of oil. Oil is expensive. They're spending dollars. So obviously they want to get the exchange rate down slightly to make it cheaper. So they're obviously one of the only countries that have an intervention. I think in a boot camp a few weeks ago, I explained the Swiss intervention when it was pegged and Switzerland removed the peg and just dumped. Yeah, these things can happen. I'm just trying to. So yeah, there we go. So euro, pretty one of those where sorry, I had this marked up. I was going to take it, but I didn't end up taking it. So you're here, not obviously overly, happy with what with where it is. I much preferred pound, where obviously we had this nice rejection here. You can see here pumped into our, zone, rejected nicely, beautiful. And then obviously Aussie here too. I do like Aussie trading down into this area here. So I'm going to be holding. Gold, last but not least, gold here. If it'll click, there we go. So gold, like I mentioned, I'm going to monitor this on 15 minute time frame here. All right, we obviously pumped up here. Gold should have triggered. Sorry, my Frenchie's growling because there's a ball underneath the sofa. So should have triggered. No excuse why. Robin, let's just have a look at your question. Morning. Do I have to adjust the entries? As on my entries, they was near but not touched to activate. As explaining, expect gold, which was amazing. So remember here. All right, I trade aggressive, so I trade here here and here. I've got three entries here. All right. If you do kind of miss it, if you watch the boot camp yesterday, you can kind of react off of this, So, but you might want to edit everything, slightly. And so, if you've missed it, for example, if you're coming in after this candle here, you might want to then think, right, you know what, I'm going to enter this, but I'm going to play it a bit, safer. So I'm going to enter something like this. All right. That's kind of what we are, what I would be, looking at here, and obviously what I would be happy with, So just treat it a tiny bit like that, and yeah, you're then trading out of this, zone. So for those of you who did watch the live, who obviously hopped on, treat this is a bit like your golden zone. So obviously we're looking for a reaction. I gotta look now. Oh, look at that, guys. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Really happy. So I'm expecting this, to tail off, especially as we've now broken the 50 EMA2, as long as this holds. I'm expecting this to tail off to the downside. But obviously, let's wait and see what happens here. But no, we're really, really happy. So yeah, that's about it from me this morning. Let's just obviously hold on 1 second. Bella, do you want to get changed, mate? Because it's getting to that time. Back in the room, right? So Matt, morning oil is going down, but dollar is going up. Is there a reason why this is happening? As I thought they go hand in hand. They don't always go obviously hand in hand, but look, look at obviously where oil is, especially on the weekly. All right. Yes, we're obviously approaching kind of last week's, low potentially, or maybe last week's, entry. So there's going to be a lot of support here. Like I said, anywhere above, this kind of area here, this 80, oil is too expensive. All right. So, there's every single chance for obviously oil to pump back up. But obviously, remember, I mean, I personally do not want oil to pump back up, because obviously it makes everything more expensive. But yeah, oil's kind of calmed down a tiny bit, which is good. But obviously, it's not. I'd still, would class it as high. We obviously want oil trading kind of anywhere around this area, kind of below 80s, the kind of happy medium here, So that's obviously what we want to kind of look at here. This is where we obviously want oil trading back below 80. So yeah, does anyone have any more questions? Any more for any more? Happy to answer. Happy to answer. But no, no, overall I am happy. Um, I'm pretty happy. What's the matter with you? Oh, come here. Anyway, she's got Umis. So yeah, right, right. So gold stops to break even. Let's just have a look at the others. Aussie, I'm still going to let that one run. Really, really happy with that one. Pound, gonna obviously let this one run too. So I'll keep you guys updated if I change anything. But no, overall I'm happy. Gold, do you think it will run all the way to TP potentially? That's obviously what I'm hoping. I've made TPs, smaller, so TP1, should be hit. But obviously that's wait and see. But gold is flying, so flying, risk-free trade. I am due a big trade, so I probably will look to hold this one here. But yeah, like I always say, I'll keep you guys updated. But I'm really, really happy with the price action right now. If you look at this 15-minute candle, there is no reason to close here. So, monitor every candle. Yeah. All right. So if, for example, we get a green candle, a bullish candle, then we'll obviously be looking to close out. But I'm pretty happy. Look at this now. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Probably up to about 17. So really, really happy. 19. Wow. What a morning, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Right. Have a great morning, everyone. And I got one more school run, dog walk, and then I will be back. But obviously, as always, I will keep you guys updated. So have a great Tuesday, and yeah, let's go.